Hello, Elevated Empaths. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lisa. I'm the Elevated Empath on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm so glad that you're here. I was feeling super called today to talk about something that came up in my therapy session today. And it was a really groundbreaking moment for me, and I thought I'd come on here and share it because I know a lot of people who follow me, who work with me, also kind of go through this transition of sex, of creating a different relationship with sex. And so I felt super inspired to talk about this today on my YouTube in particular, because I know a lot of you have used my Healing Your Sexual Energy meditation, and I wanted to talk about this topic on here as well. When I was stepping into my sexuality as a early 20-something year old, even like late teens, early 20s, I often treated sex as like something that was fun, that you just kind of did with somebody that you just met, maybe for fun, or something to be experimental physically with someone. And it was fun and it was light, and it was like, I was just like kind of casually having sex and hooking up with people, and it was fun. It was great, and I felt a lot of empowerment in that at times. Sometimes it wasn't empowering, but as I did that, there was a lot of change that happened once I got into a relationship, a long-term relationship, more intimate relationship. So I was having this casual sex for so many years, and then I get into this one-on-one intimate relationship with one person, and the relationship to sex changed. Now, what happened within that relationship, sex became so just kind of like morphed and different in each iteration of our relationship, which is normal for a relationship. Sometimes the spark dies down, sometimes you get it back. In the beginning, it's fun and exciting and rejuvenating, and you're having sex and you're experimenting, and then you develop this deeper intimacy within the relationship where you're connecting and having intimate moments, and it's not necessarily about the physical act as much as it is connecting intimately with that person. And now that I'm not in that relationship anymore, and I'm starting to take on the dating world again, my beliefs and my perspective is, okay, I'm single, Lisa, this time. I can have casual sex, I can hook up again, just like I did when I was in late teens, early 20s. And this time, it doesn't feel light, it doesn't feel easy, it doesn't feel fun, it doesn't feel exciting like it did at that time. And as I've dated new people, I've started to be like, well, I can have sex with someone on like the second or third date, because that's what I used to do, honestly. Sometimes the first. But now that I'm doing that, I'm like, wait, I don't feel connected to this person. I don't feel safe with this person. I actually don't really want to be having sex with this person, especially when there isn't any trust or communication or intimacy built yet, which is such a different thing for me, a different perspective that I haven't had. And so there's a lot of shifting around beliefs that I've had for so long. When I'm single, I'm just hooking up and casually having sex and having fun, and it like shouldn't matter. That's not the case anymore for me. And so if this resonates with you at all, I want you to reflect on this. Maybe your relationship to sex is changing, and that's okay. Maybe your relationship to sex is going to be a little different as you move about your life. Maybe your relationship to sex goes from wanting that intimate connection to wanting casual sex, and that's okay too. Any changes in this relationship to sex are okay, are valid, are seen, are heard. And that was a big understanding I had today, because I didn't realize that my relationship to sex was changing. I was trying to make myself fit in this single Lisa box that I was used to. When in reality, that relationship to sex has just changed. And that's okay. And I can start to learn more about this new relationship to sex I want, learn more about what I want from sex now as my 27-year-old version of self, as my more spiritually aligned version of self, of me learning more about myself and my self-intimacy. I'm learning these things about myself and my relationship to sex. And I think for me, and I want you to sit with this question as well, as I'm learning about this and learning that this relationship is changing, and it may take some months, days, weeks, months, years to understand that change and that shift, I'm not sure if I want to quite invite someone into that experience until I've kind of figured it out for myself. And that might change, and it's okay if it changes, and it might not take as long as I think it does. Maybe this is the one day that I have this groundbreaking learning, and that's it. But I want you to sit with that too. That is where we build that self-intimacy. Starting to understand, what's my relationship to sex right here in this moment? What do I want from it? What do I want it to do for me? What do I want it to do for my relationship? What do I want it to do for my feelings of safety and communication and intimacy? And so as you're figuring that out, ask yourself, do I want to spend some time by myself figuring that out, or do I want to invite someone into that experience? If you're in a relationship now, it could be an interesting thing to have that discussion with your partner. How do you think sex has evolved in our relationship? Do you think our relationship to sex right now is different than it used to be? How has it changed in the time that we've been together? That's Jasper in the background, just panting and pacing for no reason. So maybe that's an interesting place to bring in the discussion with your partner. And so understanding your relationship to sex, maybe it's something you write out, maybe it's something that you want to manifest a new relationship to sex. So you write out all the ways that sex makes you feel, the type of sex you want to have, who you want to have it with, the things you want to explore. That could be a really interesting journal prompt for you. And so if you're interested in diving in on this deeper, understanding your relationship to sex, and then taking aligned action from that place of, this is how I want my sexual experiences to go now. Taking aligned action from this higher version of self that is connected to your personal version of your sexuality. I'm not telling you at all how to live your life sexually. I want you to figure that out for yourself and then take the aligned action from that place. What does my higher self think? All of these things are covered in my Healing Your Sexual Energy course. And so if you're interested, if you're called to this work, and maybe you feel this call within your body, the goosebumps, whatever it is, to do this inner work on your sexuality, my course is here for you. It's the Healing Your Sexual Energy course. It dives in on all of these topics and more. Understanding sexual energy, understanding the transference of sexual energy, understanding your personal ways of figuring out how to have sex in alignment with your soul, and meeting your higher self and understanding what your higher self thinks about sexuality, and so much more. And essentially at the end, reclaiming your sexual energy and how you want to move forward with this new version of yourself who is sexually empowered and aligned and just embodied. And so if you're interested in that, the link will be below, or you can reach out to me on Instagram and learn more about this course. Ask me any questions that you have. And that's it. Reminder to be easy on yourself. Be easy on these transitions that you're going through. Be easy on yourself as you move through these transitions. be easy on your soul and understand that transformations and changes are okay. And you don't have to make yourself fit into any box, but especially a box that you think you've created for yourself, maybe in your past. So that is a message from me to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you feel so elevated, and I'll see you next time.